Hey everyone, welcome back to Shade Review. In today's video, we are reviewing a pair of titanium-made frames from Rag & Bone. But first off, thank today's video sponsor, our own website, shadereviewstore.com, the absolute best place to buy designer sunglasses, up to 80% off the original MSRP. Again, our website there is shadereviewstore.com. Check it out. So the exact model number that we have here is the RNB 5040S, and the exact color code is KB7G4. Now let's go ahead and pop these sunglasses on face and talk about the dimensions. These have 58mm lenses and a 14mm bridge, so very traditional aviator pilot shape lens dimensions for a pair of sunglasses like this, and I think they're going to fit the average person's face very, very well. Probably the biggest thing that's going to make these frames different than a pair of original Ray-Ban aviator frames is the fact that these lenses are slightly more round than they are pilot shaped, if that makes sense. So right here we can see how it's a lot more rounder than like a Ray-Ban aviator would be, and I honestly don't hate that. It definitely adds a little bit of extra character to these frames, but really you can't go wrong with just the classic, 58mm lens size and shape of the original classic Ray-Ban aviator frames. Whenever you kind of deviate from that, it always just looks a little bit strange. I think they did a good job with the styling here. I just, again, personally prefer that pilot shape of the Ray-Ban sunglasses. Now, what's really interesting about these frames that I mentioned earlier is these are actually made out of a titanium material, a very, very high quality titanium material, which is going to be very, very strong and extremely lightweight at the same time. So these frames only come in at 21 grams with the lenses. And honestly, these frames are almost too lightweight. If you lay these down on an outdoor table, if the wind hits the lens right, it's gonna blow right over and go flying off because of how extremely lightweight these frames are, which of course helps these frames to be extremely, extremely comfortable when wearing these frames for long periods of time, because they really, really don't weigh anything. This is just an extremely lightweight pair of frames, and I really, really do like that a lot. I also really do like how they do have fully adjustable nose rests, and through them we can see the little Rag & Bone logo there for authentication purposes. And then I also really like the contrast between the kind of gunmetal silver and then the kind of bronze gold, if you will, kind of like a 24 karat chocolate gold kind of color here on the trim around the frames. And then you can also see that it has that same color extended here on the sides of the frames as well, adding a really, really, really interesting look to these frames. This is actually just going to be one titanium bar that actually crosses the top of the frames and then wraps around the side. That is really, really, really difficult to do. And on that bar, we actually have some beautiful etching there as well, which looks really, really nice. And again, these are all completely made out of titanium, and these are welded onto the frame, which is really, really hard to do, but the welds are absolutely seamless and beautiful. I'm really, really impressed with the build quality of these frames. Now, if you take a look here at the inner right temple of the frames, we can see they do say Rag & Bone, and then here in the inner right ear rest of the frames, we can see they say made in China. So these frames are actually made in China, even though the build quality is this precise and this nice. So it certainly appears that China is really stepping up their sunglass work when it comes to titanium frames. Now, if we take a look here at the inner left temple of frames, we can see the exact color code, size, and model information, and then it also does say titanium there as well. As far as hinges go, these are all titanium hinges, and they are a 3-barrel hinge. They feel absolutely fantastic when opening up and closing them. Just very, very nice and substantial, really, really smooth. Honestly, these feel like a $500 pair of titanium frames. Just really, really nice hinges. I'm very, very impressed with these. Now, as far as the exact colorway that we have on today's video goes, these have neutral gray polycarbonate lenses, so they're going to offer a very neutral tone to them. These are a category 3 lens, but they are not polarized. And as you can see here, they have this absolutely beautiful mirror, which is going to look really good, especially when wearing these frames outdoors. It's really going to kind of pop and look really, really good. Now, as far as the frame colorway goes, these are their gunmetal colorway with that kind of a chocolate gold bridge, which looks really, really good as well. Very, very good looking combination for this pair of sunglasses. Now, Rag & Bone actually does not make these frames themselves. They actually have a huge company called Safilo make them. Think of Safilo as kind of a mini Luxottica. So Safilo is going to make frames for Boss. They're going to make them for Banana Republic, David Beckham Eyewear, Carrera, Rag & Bone, of course, Under Armour, and a ton of other other brands, and none of these brands are going to be really expensive and ultra kind of high-end or ultra luxury. Typically, they're all going to be in the kind of like under $200 price tag. Some of these are going to be around $40 actually as well. So definitely kind of equate the range as far as what they're capable of producing. But these are definitely going to be one of the most high quality pairs of frames that the Safilo Group actually produces. And with these, I'm not sure exactly who they had produced these in China, but they did an absolutely fantastic job. Now, as far as the pricing of these goes, these are actually going to run you around $400 directly from Rag & Bone's website. However, we do have these available on our website for a substantial discount off the original MSRP. Now, for $400, you're not getting a great deal. Honestly, I would actually prefer to get something like a pair of titanium Ray-Ban frames, but we do have these available on our website for a substantial discount off the original MSRP. So for what we have these for on the website for under $150, you really can't go wrong with this pair of frames. Now, we are limited to how many we have here, so we don't have a ton. So once they're sold out, I don't think we're gonna have the ability to restock these, but just a really high quality pair of sunglasses. You very rarely find anything made out of titanium with this kind of build quality for under $150. That is really incredible. And yeah, as far as styling goes, like I said, I really do like the looks of these. Now, if we take a look at the kind of top left lens of the frames, we can see a little etched Rag & Bone logo onto the lens for authentication purposes as well. And they do have these little cutouts here on the adjustable ear rest, so they're actually going to kind of help sit on the face nice and snug and not allow the frames to move too much, which is really nice as well. But overall, I think it's a really high quality pair of frames. This is definitely, you know, Rag & Bone's highest quality pair of frames that they produce. I've handled some of their other cheaper frames and didn't feel like they were really worthy of a review. Those are typically around $180 to maybe even $120 on the lower range. And those definitely felt kind of like cheaper Chinese made frames. These are completely different in my opinion. And whoever's making these frames in China, you're doing a really great job. Keep it up. I am very impressed. But that's all I got for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give me a big thumbs up down below. And of course, make sure to hit the subscribe button and then to be notified every single time I upload a brand new video just like this one to our YouTube channel. Again, thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll catch you all in the next one.